Here shortly, I have updates, news, and more from our community. Later, we also have Mississippi News with Miss Lika of Lika's Barbecue fame and a news wrap from Sophia Ventrano to ensure you're up to date on all the latest topics. Last but certainly not least, we also have two very special guests for you, Betty Press and Chatham Kemp with the Women's Art Collective. Stay tuned for all we have in store for you today, but first we have a quick message from our sponsors.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water, water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online. Sponsorship comes from American Graphics. Located at 8 Commercial Warehouse Drive in Hattiesburg, American Graphics provides custom screen printing and embroidery. They can be reached by phone at 601-602-2277, and the website is goamericangraphics.com. American Graphics, printing at its finest.
Welcome back. In recent Hattiesburg news, authorities believe that the deaths of 3 people, including a 3-year-old child inside a Hattiesburg home, are a case of a murder-suicide. The City of Hattiesburg Chief Communications Officer John Arendare wrote that officers responded to a welfare check on January 27th and upon arrival found 3 deceased individuals. Arendare went on to write, quote, "This incident was isolated and there is no threat to the public, and we extend our condolences to the families affected by this devastating event." In Mississippi news, Governor Tate Reeves confirmed yesterday that the weather-related death toll in Mississippi has risen to a total of 23. And while Winter Storm Fern hit Mississippi and surrounding regions on January 23rd, nearly 50,000 residents are still without power across the state as of this morning. In national news, I hope everyone is warm and cozy because Punxsutawney Phil has predicted more winter to come earlier this morning. Many of the famed groundhogs, such as General Lee from Georgia and Staten Island Chuck, also concurred on an additional 6 more weeks of winter. This comes just days after another winter snowstorm continued to batter parts of the United States this weekend. In other news, President Trump stated that the feds won't intervene during protests in Democrat-run cities unless specifically asked to do so. These comments stem on the back end of numerous anti-ICE protests around the country, such as Portland, Oregon, where hundreds to thousands of protesters shut down the streets. The mayor of Portland urged U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement to leave the city after protesters were subject to tear gas, pepper balls, and rubber bullets by agents. And while citizens take to the streets in protest, a partial government shutdown has taken effect Saturday. While not as drastic as the record-breaking shutdown this past fall, this partial shutdown is a byproduct of the recent murder of Alex Preddy and Renee Good in the past weeks as Democrats demanded that one of the remaining funding bills includes changes to immigration enforcement. To avoid another shutdown, President Trump struck a deal with senators to separate funding for the Department of Homeland Security from a broader proposed package. This will leave the Department of Homeland Security funded until February 13th, giving Congress until then to reach a new consensus on restrictions on ICE operations. That's your news update from Southern Miss Today. Next, we'll have the latest in sports and weather, so stay tuned. We'll be back after a word from our sponsors.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water, water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online.
Estos son los sonidos de una cena que casi no sucedió. Es una cena servida gracias a personas como tú. Debido a la crisis actual, 50 millones de personas pueden vivir con hambre este año. Feeding America está ayudando a los que más lo necesitan. Y si quieres, tú puedes ayudar también. Visita feedingamerica.org/en-español. Patrocinado por el Ad Council y Feeding America, la fuerza de 200 bancos de alimentos.
This past weekend was very busy for the Golden Eagles. Men's basketball fell to Appalachian State 63-70 on Thursday with our very own Talik Weeks leading scoring with 21 points. But to never be down for too long, men's basketball avenged themselves in a 73-65 win over James Madison Saturday, with plans on continuing their streak against Marshall on Wednesday at 6 p.m. Women's basketball also edged out a win against Old Dominion this past Friday in an overtime battle that saw Jakayla Johnson with a whopping 32 points. Women's basketball intends to continue dominating against James Madison in the Reed's Coliseum Wednesday at 4 p.m. Southern Miss track team also had a dominating display this past Sunday at the South Alabama Invitational Sunday at the Birmingham Crossplex with 7 wins total. 4 wins for the men and 3 wins on the women's side. The Golden Eagles will be back in Birmingham Friday and Saturday to compete at the UAB Green and Gold Invitational. And finally, softball gears up for their season opener this Friday, where they will be playing UAB, Lipscomb, and Louisiana Tech. Good luck to all our Golden Eagle teams. As for our weather today, as you guys have all noticed, it's slightly warmer than it was last week. Starting to have a normal Mississippi winter. While it feels like 45 degrees with an expected feels like of 60, the thermometer will reach a high of 59 with a low of 24 degrees later tonight. And you guys have also seen, it is particularly sunny outside today. These conditions expected to last all day. However, tomorrow it is expected to have a little bit of rain with a warmer high of 67 degrees and warmer low of 36. It's also expected to be particularly windy outside, which may make it feel cooler than it is. These conditions are expected to last for the rest of the week with us having a chilly high 50 and 60s before transitioning into the high and 60s and low 70s next week. Up next, we have our Mississippi Moments produced by the Center for Oral History and Cultural Heritage with Miss Letha of Letha's Barbecue fame, talking about her love of being a restaurateur. Check it out.
This is Mississippi Moments, produced by the Center for Oral History and Cultural Heritage at the University of Southern Mississippi and supported by the Mississippi Humanities Council. I'm Bill Ellison. By the time Letha's Barbecue moved to Hattiesburg, it had become a destination spot for barbecue lovers around the world. She credits her love of people and the power of word-of-mouth advertising.
I don't think I got the best ribs in the world. I don't think so. But I do a good job of what I do. And I love my job. I love to cook. I love people. You know, that's what makes it. You got to love people. If you don't love people, you can't make it. And I have people from London, Paris, Africa, Australia, all over the world, Washington, California. That's all over the world, the people. And I don't advertise. It's just the word of mouth. Just like when you eat here, if you get there, it's easy. I hope you do. You would go tell somebody else. And, just like that, it's just the word of mouth. It's just the word of mouth. Sometimes they have to wait 2 hours outside. We have a lot of people. I have people from Memphis. They'll come out. The best ribs in Memphis, I said, well, you ain't at mine yet.
Bill Ellison hosts Voices of Our People World War II, a new podcast from Mississippi Moments, sponsored by the Mississippi Humanities Council. That's Voices of Our People World War II, wherever you get your podcasts.
That was your Mississippi Moment for today. Coming up, we have a pleasure of hearing from Betty Press and Chatham Kemp on the Women's Art Collective right after a word from our sponsors.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mr. Sippy Beverages. Mr. Sippy Beverages provides water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mr. Sippy Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mr. Sippy Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Welcome back. I'm here with Betty Press and Chatham Kemp. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Great.
That's good. Okay, so I think the first thing we would like to know is, what is the Women's Art Collective?
Let me speak to that because I'm one of the founding members.
Okay.
We started in 2010, and it was just a group of women who wanted to talk about art and support each other. And we actually started meeting in my garage, which I made into a studio and later a dark room. And we started meeting, and then we started inviting more people to join, and then we started showing our work. And now we're a group of well, we're a group of 14. We just lost one of our members, Kim Witt. But we show we've shown all over the state. We show in a lot of the community colleges, galleries, and Meridian Museum of Art. And so we're out there.
Okay, that's good. That's good. And when I took a look at the website, I noticed that there are some like local stars, if you will, involved with collective. You said a little bit, but how did so many diverse artists come together?
Yeah, one thing that's really neat about our group is that we all serve the community in different ways. So when you say local star, I immediately think about Andrea Costial, who's one of our members, who's a muralist. She's done several murals around town. We also have Jen Torres, who is a sculptor who's made sculptures that have been exhibited in downtown Hattiesburg as well as across the state. But we each work in different kinds of materials and serve the community in different ways. Some of us are teachers. I teach at William Carey. Jen Torres teaches at USM. Okay. Betty and Carolyn have done a lot of documentary work, which Betty might want to talk to you about. But I think our group is a really great example of how culture can be built from the ground up. We're kind of a grassroots group of people who happen to share values and love to get together and talk about art, which we love to make. And so it's really, in a time when people are trying to find their voice, I think it's really important to find people like you to share your passion with.
Okay. And are you guys from Hattiesburg? Just a little side note question.
I'm born and raised. I went to USM, actually.
Okay.
I'm a transplant from Nebraska.
From Nebraska? Oh, man. So you're probably used to the cold that we've been getting lately?
It's a lot nicer down here.
And you mentioned a little bit about documentary work, correct? Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, I'd be happy to. Carolyn Norton, who also used to teach at USM, is a photographer and printmaker. But she and I share a love for photography. And in 2020, we were celebrating the amendment for the women to get their right to vote, the 19th Amendment. And we were asked by a group, it was called the Yellow Rose Project, because all the women who were the suffragettes were the Yellow Roses. So it's a Yellow Rose Project. And so 100 photographers around the nation were asked to document what that meant to have the right to vote and what it means presently. For us, for me, it meant to kind of highlight the women here locally who didn't have the right to vote in 1920 and didn't really get it until the 1960s. So we went about to photograph some of the women. We photographed Ellie Damer, who is the wife of Vernon Damer, Lily Dwight, Ruby Wilson, and one of the main ones is Peggy Jean Connor, who actually was a civil rights activist, really well known, and she's even, documented in the 2 museums in Jackson. So those photographs are up in the show right now. And both Carolyn and I hand wrote kind of a little, some information about each woman so you would get to know them a little bit better. So that's something that people might want to see, especially locally, because that really connects to the community, which is the theme of our show.
Okay. And you said the theme of the exhibition is, can you speak a little bit more to that?
Connecting to community. And again, we're folks who have all connected to the community. And one other thing I wanted to mention was just the range of materials in which we work. So if folks want to come to our show, they'll see great examples of ceramics. So one of our artists, Melanie Eubanks, who teaches at Jones County Junior College, she works with wood-fired ceramics, which is a really special process. Stephanie DiArmi also works with ceramics. We have Carolyn Norton, who's a printmaker. Betty and Carolyn are also both photographers. I'm a painter. We have several painters in the show. Martina Shalino, Barbara Ann Carver-Hunt works with both clay as well well as with colored pencil, and she does like beaded embroidery work. So you see like a really wide range of materials, which is neat. So if folks want to learn about how to use those materials in the community, we're all folks who have taught and participated in teaching things like workshops. And, you know, I know Betty and Andrea and Tracy teach workshops regularly down at Singing River Studio, and Diane Shepard, who's one of our members who works in clay, teaches classes down at the Will in the Windows studio in downtown Hattiesburg. So all these materials go out into the community and become a part of really the world of Hattiesburg, I think. Do you have anything to add to that, Betty?
Yeah, I mean, just we try and connect as much as we can to and especially in terms of education. We really invite all the students and the community members to come to the show because I think they really enjoy it. And it'll be up until February 13th. That's 2 more weeks. And yeah.
And where will the exhibit be?
It's in the George Hurst building. It's the USM Gallery of Art and Design.
Okay. And you spoke that Ms. Press's main medium is photography. May I ask how you got interested in photography? Started exploring it?
One reason I've always loved photography, but I really didn't do it. But my husband, before he started teaching political science here, was a journalist, and he worked for the Christian Science Monitor. And I realized one thing I could do is, if I learned photography and made it my medium, I could work with him on his stories. And so that's what I did, and that's how I really got started. So we were in Kenya, and I was actually a photojournalist for 8 years in Kenya. So,
okay.
And then I moved more into the documentary photography, and I taught here at USM until 2015.
That's good. And do you work in any other mediums by any chance?
I don't. Well, I don't know. But I loved being in the darkroom. I'm not in the darkroom so much anymore, but now I'm doing more digital work. So.
Okay. And as for you, Ms. Kemp?
I primarily make large abstract oil paintings, but I also dabble in ceramics, and I make sterling silver jewelry as well. There are lots of us who do more than one thing, though. I mean, Carolyn Norton is both a photographer and a printmaker and a graphic designer. Barbara Ann works both with clay and with paint and, you know, works on paper. So most of us really overlap and share different loves. Kim Witt, our member who passed away this past fall, was a weaver as well as a painter. And at the end, like the works in the show really combine her work with textiles as well as with paint. She was using a special soy-based process, which is pretty neat. Rebecca Stark Johnson, one of our members, is an incredible collage artist. So you see lots of different kinds of materials in her work. And one thing special to mention about Rebecca is we have a community arts center here in Hattiesburg named after Rebecca. Okay. So we're really proud of that. And we have all had shows there and participated in events down there. So that's a really special thing that's happened in Hattiesburg. I believe they just got a $300,000 MAC grant too. Right. So the arts are growing strong in Hattiesburg, and members from our group have been a part of that. That's pretty special.
Yeah, we invite the students actually to also think about all the other venues around Hattiesburg. There's a lot of places you can show your art, and there are more and more. I mean, there's the Community Arts Center, there's the Hattiesburg Arts Council, the Main Street Gallery. I'm not even mentioning, the University Baptist Church has a gallery. So
there's a lot in Hattiesburg to go see.
Yeah.
And may I ask, how did you begin to explore painting?
Well, I grew up knee-high to an easel. So my father teaches in the art department here at USM, Jim Mead, and my mother was a landscape painter. So I've been doing this since I was literally, since I could talk. So I grew up actually playing on the USM campus and, you know, going to football games with my parents and stuff like that. So I always tell people, you either study with Jim Mead at USM or you study with Chatham Kemp at William Carey. It's pretty funny. We have kind of a monopoly on art departments, the two of us. But I think art is really something I like to share with people because it gives them an outlet for expression. And it's important that people have a way to communicate. I think in a digital world, working with hands-on materials, so like coming to a workshop of Betty's where you get to play with Polaroid emulsions and understand the chemistry behind photography, or doing a collage workshop with Rebecca, or an image transfer workshop with Andrea Costial, you really get to see how to work with materials and express yourself. And that's a really interesting part about what we do and how we relate to people in the community.
And I might mention that 3 of us have the Singing River Art Studio down on 4th and Main, which is becoming kind of an art center in itself because we have that Latin art group there. And that's Andrea Costal, Tracy Stover, who's working in watercolor right now. And she used to teach here at USM, and myself. So you can check out the Singing River Art Studio.
Yes, ma'am.
And you guys are open, is it first Saturdays, Betty?
First Saturday, or most Saturdays nowadays, we're kind of there.
Okay.
And for students who will be like interested in learning, or just people in the community, where would they go, or like what's the process for trying to do that?
We have workshops at the Singing River Art Studio, so, and we do have a website, and we put that information out so they could follow us there.
I would say adding us on Instagram, following us, sending us a note, coming out to exhibits. I think most of us are really great attenders. So if I go to an event and I don't see Betty or Andrea or Tracy or some of my friends from the group, I'm always surprised. So just showing up and talking to people and not being afraid to like get your voice out there. The Hattiesburg Arts Council does a great emerging artist exhibit that I started out being a part of early on, which is how I met some of the folks in our Women's Art Collective, actually.
Okay. And you guys did say the exhibit, it's still ongoing till February 13th, so.
That's right.
And this is an annual event, or you guys have anything else planned coming up?
Several of us are in a show in Jackson. It's the National Women in the Arts Museum. It's Mississippi Chapter's exhibit. So that's a second exhibit that several of us are a part of. But we show throughout the year. So if you keep an eye out on our Instagram and on our website, we usually have about 6 different exhibits a year, and they change from time to time.
We just had one in Gaucher at the community college down there. But our next one will be at the University Baptist Church, and we're going to highlight Kim Witt's work, who will be kind of a memorial for her.
That's really nice. Okay. And
one other thing I wanted to say about the exhibit that I think is really special, the way it was designed, Mark Rixby, the curator of the gallery at USM, or the director of the gallery at USM, really created a conversation, I think, between the pieces. So all the pieces are diverse, they're all by different people, different materials, yet there's kind of an ongoing conversation between the pieces. And folks from the community, I think we had about 200 people come to the opening, which is amazing.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it was really great. But several people from the community said they had a real emotional response to seeing this conversation between women artists. So I think it's really special for folks to come out and see what it feels like to be in that space. It's a very visual, kind of experiential thing to do when you walk in the show.
It is. It's a beautiful space that we have here, and we're really so pleased and honored to be able to show there. So.
That's really nice, and thank you guys so much for coming, telling us a little bit about it. That is all the time we do have for today, but I want to thank you guys for coming in, telling us about the City of Hattiesburg Women's Art Collective. Again, the Connected Community theme exhibition is from January 26th to February 13th at the University of Southern Mississippi's Fine Art Gallery. Thank you guys so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Of course, anytime. Coming up, we have a news wrap from Zofia Ventrano on a new opportunity for student workers on campus. Check it out.
The university has launched a new program for student workers on campus in efforts to boost professionalism. The creator of the program, Akeem Gilliam, is the Job Location and Development Coordinator at the school. He explains what this initiative is.
It's a program that helps student workers develop competencies in 3 areas. That's problem solving, professionalism, and teamwork. Once you complete this course, you will receive digital badges that you could also add to your resume as well as your LinkedIn profile.
It is a 10-week online course consisting of numerous assignments that does not count for college credit but helps prepare students for the job market.
Because when you get in that interview, There are going to be 10 to 50 people who all graduated from college. What's going to separate that candidate? A lot of times what separates them are credentials.
Student employee Emily Blue shares her opinions on this new program.
So I'm actually really excited about this opportunity. I love getting any opportunities through school to enhance my resume, enhance my LinkedIn, and make myself look more marketable for any future job opportunities. So I personally am really excited for this.
Gilliam encourages students to participate in the program because the badge symbolizes a lot to employers.
Student employment competency badges, they're silent, but somehow they speak.
If you are a USM student worker looking for a resume boost, Akeem Gilliam at Career Services encourages you to join his Competency Badge Initiative. Sophia Vetrano, SMTV News.
Thank you for listening to Southern Miss today on Southern Miss Radio. Thank you for listening to Southern Miss today on Southern Miss Radio. Many thanks to Carl, our producer, Liam, our audio engineer, and Meadow, our film producer, for keeping this flight on track. We especially want to thank our general manager, Dr. Martin, as well as our guests today, Betty Press and Chatham Kemp, with the Women's Art Collective. That's all for today on Southern Miss Radio. Thank you all for listening, and remember to stay warm. I'm your host, Thomas Sensley, signing off.